Welcome back. I'll say this again. The things I talk about in my videos about my experiences in China are about my experiences in China. That's not to undermine anybody else's experiences. If you have had different experiences, feel free to share with us. But what I am sharing is based on my experience, not on anybody else's experience. Okay? That is my disclaimer right there. Let's have that out of the way. So we're actually drinking this tea today. Okay. Today I want to share with you guys the things that I found quite unique in China that I never witnessed in my country or where I grew up or the other places that I've been to. The first thing I want to talk about is the dancing in the square. Okay, so I want to believe, and I was made to understand that initially the dancing was for old people. It was like a form of exercise and a form of them just getting together, unwinding for the day, and just being jovial, just spending time together as old people. But now, actually, even the younger generations have since joined in the dances. And these dances used to be at the square only, but now you find dances in just about every community, outside just about every community. People find a little spot where they can just gather every evening and they dance. Also in the park, there are a lot of parks in China. Like you find a lot of parks in almost every district in a city has a huge park, well maintained, very well manicured grass, manicured shrubs and everything. So people find a spot in the park where they can dance in the evenings and in the mornings. It's a form of exercise, but it's mostly in the evenings. That is something that I never saw growing up. But I remember very well when I was in primary school, we used to go to school and pass through some place where the Chinese used to live. Back then, the Chinese had a community that they used to live in my city. And we used to pass through that place. And in the morning, would see them doing what we thought then was taekwondo, but it turns out like it's the exercising that they were doing again. So that's all I remember growing up. But here, the dancing is just so common. You will find people dancing, especially in the evenings. You hear music all over. Like there's really loud music and the people are dancing. They're not just dancing anyhow. It's actually a scripted dance. It's like choreographed. There's normally a leader who knows the moves and other people are just following. But with time, you find that they actually all move the same way because probably they've mastered the moves. All right, that is one. The second thing that I found to be very unique in this country is the availability of outdoor gyms, outdoor fitness centers. So when you go into a community, every community has an outdoor fitness center. Yes, you will find people there mostly in the evenings. They are working out. And next to that outdoor fitness center is usually like a little park for kids with play equipment for kids, like your slides, where they can play their hide and seek, the swings, and everything. You will find those in just about every community. They are there, and the children gather around the evenings. And old people gather mostly around the evenings in the square, like the square of the community, inside the community, and they play with children because here, old people take care of children. That's something else I'll also talk about. So that is something that I also found quite interesting. Like they are so serious about staying fit that they have outdoor gyms in just about every community. People can go and work out. Now, the other thing that I noticed, this is to do with our schools in China. There is military training for first year university students. That is for the local students. So students come to school our academic year starts in September, which is the fall semester. So when the students come to school, the students that are coming back, they come back first. And then a week later, the freshmen join. But the freshmen do not come into the school and walk straight to the classroom. No. They walk into the school, they do their registration with the assistance, of course, of older students, like maybe second year students. They literally volunteer to help the freshmen to do the registration, carry their bags, help them find their dormitories. And that means they also miss class, the second year students. All right. So after they've helped them and they've settled in, they go through the medicals. Yes, all students, freshmen, they actually go through medical tests. They bring, they don't go to the hospital, but the hospital comes to the school. So they draw the necessary blood, whatever samples that they need from these students and everything. And then when they're done with their medicals, the next thing is they line up or queue up for their military uniforms. They literally literally every freshman student gets a military uniform. That is pants, a jacket, a cap, and shoes, unless they cannot find their size. If they have a shoe size, they would definitely get definitely get a pair of shoes as well. So this is also something that they will do. They will do military training for the next 3 weeks. And then after that, they graduate and they come to class. Yeah. So as I'm speaking right now, the freshmen just finished last week. They actually finished this week, their military training. Now we are on national holiday, so they'll only come to class in October, second week of October, after the national holiday, right? They do not attend school the whole of September. As much as the semester is already in full swing, they do not attend school. They are doing their military training. Do I know what they're being taught at the military training? I have no idea, but I've seen them doing some drills like marching, like just fitness exercises. I do not know what else they are taught there, other than just seeing them trying to stay fit. I don't know what else they are taught, because there are times when you find them gathered around a leader and the leader is teaching them. In the university that I started off, they had a military university in that city. Not they had, but they have a military university in that city. So the military came from that university to come and train our students for the military training. But in my current city, I don't think we have any military base or anything like that. So I've noticed that the people that are training these kids are actually people that have been discharged from the army and are students in my school. Yes, I have a lot of students. We have a lot of students in the school that have been discharged from the army. They go to the army for 2 years and then they come back to school. So those guys are trained, they know everything. So those are the people that train the freshmen. If there's no military people to come, because these are also military people, right? They are just discharged, but they are definitely military people in every sense of the word. So those are the people that train. So they are training them that the real things. It's not guesswork. It's not me walking into the sports field and start telling them things. No, it's actually people that have gone through the real military training that are training these kids. Okay, so that's actually quite another interesting one. Another thing that I actually also found in the schools, in our schools, is that young kids, I was made to understand that it's actually a law in the country that says young students, anybody who is below grade 2 is not allowed to have classes on the 3rd floor going up. Now, remember, in China, most of our buildings are just going up, right? You can find a school that has classrooms that go all the way to the 6th floor, the 7th floor. Those are just classrooms. So kids, anybody who is grade 2 and below, so we can basically say 8 years and below, they're not allowed to have classes on the 3rd floor going up. 8 years and below, they can only occupy the 1st and the 2nd floor. And in China, what we call the ground floor is actually the 1st floor. What we call the 1st floor is actually the 2nd floor. All right. So they're only allowed to be on the first floor and the second floor. They cannot go up because, of course, if there is an accident, kids must be able to quickly leave. Kids must be able to quickly evacuate. Like if we are having a school that's got 6 floors, trust me, there is no elevator there. Those guys are walking all the way to the 6th floor. They are walking all the way to the 6th floor. Because in China, most buildings, if they only go up to the 6th floor, there is no elevator. Elevators start when a building has more than 6 floors. That's when you start to see an elevator. So if your building goes up to the 6th floor, honey, you are going to walk. You're going to use stairs, okay? So most schools have like buildings that go up to the 6th floor, the 5th floor. They are walking up. So now this is why we keep our kids first floor and second floor so that they can quickly be evacuated if there is need for that. Okay, it's actually a rule, and it's actually very illegal to have kids up on the 3rd floor. Wow, I found that pretty interesting. Right, so this is the part 1 of the things that I found quite interesting in China, and I don't want my videos to be very long, so I'm going to stop here and I will do a part 2 of the things that I found very interesting and very unique in China. Yeah, I will definitely do a part 2 and maybe a part 3 and maybe a part 4 because there is a lot to unpack. Cheers.